lanes are going to spread out, what we're going to be dealing with, and get this Tomato Morphling Enchantress on Whitemon up against the Techies Magnus lane in our sights.
They also picked Morphling into Techies. I want to see how much Tomato is going to be able to... how much Antares is going to be able to achieve as his Techies. This is the hero that plays from Fogged, Morphling on low HP. You blast it on top of him. If he doesn't get the shift off, the long duration silence. Like, silence level 1 is 4 seconds. And then you can try to kill him. What are you laughing about?
Bryle is having fun. He's invoking. He's playing Invoker, so therefore he must invoke.
30 seconds.
And everybody's using sprays. Everything they got, throwing in mid lane.
Did I mix my magics? There's also a pretty neat play by Antares. He walked up to the die ward that was placed early. And I don't know if the Enchantress got baited. We'll see if they try and sentry it. But he like pretended to place an observer ward up there, then backed up to place his obs a little shallower on his side of the river. But he also popped the smoke to know that the Dire have vision up there as well. Top rune contested by HR. Morphling and Enchantress able to stand there and take the bounty rune. Solo and Ramses. We'll grab the other two on the other side of the map, though. So balance in all things as it should be.
Will be 2 for 2 in the end. So Beastmaster plus Hoodwink. It's a killer lane. A lot of spam gonna come out from Axes. Acorn Shot as well. Blightstone. Lowering the armor. Not the... I mean, against Abba, what is he bringing? I see Ring of Basti, which is an interesting build from a carried. Man, this is such a cool cosmetic on Abba. What is that sword?
Well, you can see his face as well. Abaddon's face being shown. The sword is the Endless Night sword.
It's way too big. This is Nazgul.
Wait, what? Look, the horse is riding him? What was that?
Maybe if Ramses had a point in Curse of Avernus, those extra slows could have maybe made the difference, but then again, Acorn Shot was available. Solo, his career is going to drop. Extra 25 for the team.
Well found by Ari. Now, we did see the D-Ward top. Antares immediately got rid of the Observer. And let's try get back there into the face of the Enchantress, who does get a half pull off. Solo being chipped away at by Ari here, though. Something Hoodwink is always incredibly good at. Just right-clicking people non-stop. Hiding in the trees, getting that extra bit of trade damage. Plenty of regen going to be needed here for HR to stay in the lane against the boars and the acorn shots. And not an easy one for them.
It's a lot of slow. Both
top. Blast off into Skewer. First blood for Antares Techies. They contest the pull. They get there. Just a quick flurry of spells from them. Secures a pretty simple kill.
Great start for Techies. First usage of the blast off. They do get a kill. Both heroes from ex-HR are very low. The spam continues from TSM. Not going to be an easy lane for Ramses by any means.
Nah, it's non-stop. And I'll start dragging wave back as well. So Kasane can continue his free farm. 10 last hits for the Beastmaster. Always feels very good. This is something TSM, I think, are pretty good at compared to some other teams. Is giving Kasane, with these Zoo heroes, a good lane to allow his helm timing to come just a little bit faster than usual. How's mid going? Invoker against Ember Spirit? How does that matchup end up?
You can't really die as Invoker, especially Quasflex. You have Forge Spirit, and he's adjusting his item build, something that we did see being very good in the previous game, the Wraith Band pickup. So that those slights are not going to hurt as much. Kiyotaka, what is he bringing on the courier? It's going to be Blightstone. He's already adjusting. He wants to be able to put some damage. And I've seen Ember Spirits like taking towers. If there's a hero to move from a mid lane, this is not going to be Invoker because this is Quas Exort Invoker. So that means you don't want to leave the lane. You want to be the one pressuring, and you also have a bit of a global presence.
Some wasted time there by Kiyotaka.
Yeah.
Forge Spirit denies the bounty. Well done by Bryle. And yeah, Blightstone -2 armor. Wraithband +2 armor. Give yourself a little more protection against the Ember and his slight spam. Miero, pretty low on mana up at top. And down bottom, Kasane about halfway through all his resources as well. Solo's going to keep the pressure on the Beastmaster, keeping Abaddon farming. Miero maybe looking for an angle top. Techi's going to go for a pull. Everyone trying to find a little edge in these lanes to look for kills. And Brawl just continually denying runes. Gets rid of one water rune. Sunstrike mid. Kiyotaka 1 health. Fairy fires up. The Forge Spirit was punching him. Close there from Brawl. Good attempt. And get the takedown.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And up at top, a
He's
blast
going in.
off. Yeah, Whitemon gone. Antares close to death, but I'm not sure. Tomato without the adaptive strike. It was on cooldown for 2 more seconds. Can't get the trade.
Puts a second point in blast off. The extra silence, extra damage, 300 AoE. And now Magnus. Meteor Hammer queued up by him. Okay, interesting one.
That's
I
what
guess
we're doing with it.
it's a great stats item, but you don't want to like do any fancy shenanigans. I think it also comes down to them not having enough tower damage. So he might be the one just dropping a Meteor Hammer. When it comes down to stuns, they have multiple ways of stopping it. Eventually, Tornado, Cold Snap, Bushwhack, Adaptive Strike. Kasane. Dodges Ice Bat.
Still
got a
dies.
drop.
Level 2 shield. Magic Wand and Magic Stick here for HR. The Sunstrike, oh, ever so barely on the edge of the Jakiro's hero model. Yeah, so far so good for HR. 3-0. TSM yet to get a kill on the board. And as we progress through these levels, it becomes pretty hard to kill off HR. Borrowed time on this Abaddon. Kiyotaka with the evasiveness of this Ember Spirit. Even that top lane, Magnus, pretty tanky and has the skewer to disengage if need be.
Antares is very low on HP, hiding. Warpine Raider will catch him.
Seed shot. No impetus though. Whitemon blasted off upon Antares. Still going to die though, and a Sunstrike dodged by Kiyotaka as he grabs the DD rune through his Remnant. And Bounty rune's up there as well for him, but he's a little afraid of where he's heading.
Doesn't have a TP available and gets slowed down by Seed Shot. Whitemon's already gone. Maybe he could have tried to play a little bit more aggressive. There were still 2 Remnants available. He can Dispel Flame Guard, Dispel double damage with the enchant. Kiyotaka's bottle will be refilled by Antares.
And there's Bryle rushing straight into the drums. Well, Ramses still level 5. Pretty low HP, but with a shield up on him and Solo behind him, he'll be okay. A bit of a dive in the mid lane from Kiyotaka, cut short by the Cold Snap. Even bringing in the additional help of the Enchantress. And the Hellbear Smasher.
Who said you could be on my team?
And Hunter is sticking around here, getting some damage on the tier 1. They've shoved Bryle and Whitemon out of the actual lane itself.
Ramses, there's going to be another spam. He's bringing his Fate Boots, another set of Tangos. He's the one who bought a lot of Tangos. I think this is the 3rd set that he's bringing. And now Antares
Blast
does
off to
have
safety.
Blast off. But then again, can they get a return kill?
And Kiyotaka has 1 point in chains. He doesn't want to go for it.
Not enough.
Maxing out the Flame Guard.
Their damage a bit limited, I would say, especially if Techies uses Blast Off as a defense tool. Now Ramses collecting some XP bottom. Bushwhack misses. Ooh. Could have been a kill potentially. Still has that Aphotic Shield, getting closer to level 6. So once he gets that, gotta be much more difficult to get a kill on him.
And he doesn't want to level it up straight away because he's so low HP, it's just going to pop immediately. So he'll hold out, wait until he gets gone on by someone. There's a Whitemon using that high ground ward he placed a little earlier on to scout out the stacks being made up by Antares as well as Sniper Courier. And here's Miero in the top lane. Meteor Hammer's done, getting some damage on the tier 1 tower. The trouble being they've not really pressured Morphling at all. Tomato is top of the net worth, completely free farming, has Treads, Wand, Morbid Mask, and seemingly the big bad boss on this map.
Yeah, Tomato does like to pick up Morbid Mask, even though it did get heavily nerfed on Morphling, where you only lifesteal for 50% of the attack damage. It's still a great item on Morph. Maybe he doesn't believe in RNG, doesn't believe that Gaben's gonna bless him by finding that neutral mask.
And the waveform's in Skewered across. Miero cancels his TP, as I think he saw the Centaur coming. Still going to die, though. Adaptive Strike and the Stomp connect. Maybe could have attempted just to hold out. You know, pros don't fake. Go for the full TP, try and get home. But in the end, very, very low chances of survival.
Pros don't fake. Where's that coming from?
That's from CS. That's from CS:GO.
Really?
Yeah, when you're planting the bomb, you know, you can fake plant the bomb. You start and then you stop to make the noise, and people come, you know, out of their hiding spot.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ah, you're a multiple esports guy. I didn't know that. I do watch CS:GO, but not as much. Only when there's like big tournaments, but not following the memes.
Yeah, pros don't fake. Once you start planting the bomb, you're full plant.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Well, top tower down. Quite unusual. Off lane tower on this Radiant side being taken down. 10 minutes in. This gives a bit of room for Tomato to invade enemy triangle. Take out one of their stacks. Move into mid as well. They've got catapults coming soon. Double Forge Spirits are ready. Picking up the tempo here as TSM.
They blocked the stack that you were talking about that Tomato is farming, and he also stole the stack from them. So double the value. Antares now.
Stunned
Do
up.
they have enough? Bryle's trying to get close for a cold snap, but not going to be enough. Double damage. Drums finished on him. 2 Forge Spirits as well. And what is he bringing? A medallion. This is the build that we did mention the previous game. This is something that he did before. Solar Crest, upgrade drums, the Boots of Bearing, all these small items, cheap ones, getting extra mana regen. Oh no.
Miero. Sunstrike trying to scout him. And process of elimination means they know which direction he went. Not southwest. Wait, has he found a little hiding? No, what? They can't see him?
Pros don't fake, Gary.
They just walked past him like 3 times. A hiding spot in the trees. And Tier 1 tower in the meantime being taken down by Kiyotaka and his little friend the Catapult. Centaur Stomp, but no deny from Whitemon. And yeah, this Invoker build, a lot of minus armor, right? With Forge Spirits. And that medallion. A little reminiscent of the old Somnus Invoker build with the Desolator Assault Cuirass.
Oh yeah,
back in the
good
day.
old times. I mean, this amplifies the damage of your Forge Spirits. Extra attack speed from drums, minus armor from medallion as well. Now, let's see if they decide to rotate to the bottom lane. Invoker, after he pushes out the mid. Kasane does have Helm Creep available. It's going to be another Centaur. So, speaking of Centaur, Whitemon still holding one. Will smoke with Bryle.
Yeah, maneuvering down bottom. Ramses can be a difficult kill, but if they're able to bait out a borrowed time and then roar him after it's popped, they could have the damage and control to kill him off. Solo here with level 1 Macropyre and Ice Path can offer quite a lot of damage if they got stuck under the tier 1. And TSM a little tentative with their move onto the Abaddon, so they go for the Jakiro instead. It does drop the Verdurous Dale onto the tower, very tanky and healing up Solo. Misses the Ice Path though, as TSM evacuate and start TPing back to their other side of the map.
Abba as a carry, sometimes it's hard to push out of the lane because of his borrowed time. And now you see the save coming out on Solo, so he doesn't even die. Mid lane.
Oh yeah, Antares is there with Kiyotaka. Bryle TP'd back there to gather up a bit of farm, but picked off while Solo is killed by Whitemon and Ari as they delve into their bottom jungle. Still struggling really to pressure the bottom objective though. Tier 1 being held, like you say, just by Ramses as he's impervious to the attempts from TSM to kick him out of the lane.
Getting closer and closer to Sacred Relic. It's much cheaper now, 3.4k gold. Kiyotaka as well, keeping up with the farm of the rest. Not as much farm as Morphling because he's been free farming. Tomato off to a great start. Yasha done. Going into Dragonlance Manta next. Keeps farming multiple creep camps. With that waveform, they also made a couple of stacks for him. He invaded those stacks. Oh, Radiant killing the tower with no heroes around it.
Yeah. Free money into the pockets of XHR. And don't need to do anything drastic either. They can just hold their high grounds, keep on farming. Very, very comfortable here, knowing you've got the Magnus and Power on top of Ember and Abaddon. Soon you'll have this Blink Reverse Polarity available for Miero, as he's 400 gold away from that initiation item. And that's the point at which you can start considering smoking, because it should all culminate here with Maelstrom, Ember, Blink, Magnus. Everything should be ready alongside the majority of the Radiants on this Abaddon.
15-minute. Techies, Ricky, these two heroes kind of playing off the shard. Antares does have gold saved up. Double damage. Ooh, Brawl will deny it. Does not want to risk anything. Getting jumped by him. Magnus was showing on the top lane, but still afraid that maybe Ember Spirit will get a jump. So, in terms of item synchronization for Hellraisers, there's going to be Magnus with the Blink Dagger that you mentioned, Maelstrom, Ember Spirit, Techies with the Shard, Abaddon, of course, not going to be able to get that Sacred Relic turned into Radiance, but we'll have it eventually in the next 2 minutes, especially if he gets empowered by Mag.
Yeah, so if the timing for HR is coming in the next minute and a half, at TSM, do they have enough tools to combat this, or are they just going to be dodging fights?
Ooh, they are going to smoke. There is still no shard on Techies. You would definitely love to have it. That's a big upgrade. Almost 2 seconds stun.
Tomato.
AoE 1.
Tomato. Oh, spooky times. Blink RP straight on the morph, and he's blasted off straight on him. Well executed by HR. Tomato was sat at 460 HP, full agi.
There's a saying, Gary, in
There
Dota. Never go full agi.
Well, he did, and he suffered to it. Now, Whitemon, they want to try and reclaim the triangle, but the Enchantress gets diced by the Ember Spirit. Bryle, Sunstriking onto Miero with a sharpshooter there as well. They nearly take him down, but Kiyotaka back onto Bryle's Invoker. Slight chains into the Ice Path, chucks the Deafening Blast at them. Can he go into Invis or hide? He absolutely cannot. Sentry was already pre-placed anyway by HR as they lose no heroes, killing off 3 in a row, and Kiyotaka still battling with Kasane. They'll roll the Jakiro, spend it onto Solo, but the rest of HR is still here ready to fight. Chains into the Meteor Hammer, not going to land, and Kasane picks up a double kill.
Antares also going to die.
Trying to chase him, yeah, Antares running around, sprinting with that reactive taser on. He's not going to be able to fight 1v2 into Ari and Whitemon though, and they do boot HR out of this high ground area.
Stayed there for way too long. I think they wanted way too much, but still, Abba is the one who keeps on free farming, almost catching up with the Morphling. Radiance about to be finished. They needed to get like those kills and get out, maybe sacrifice one. Magnus blinks out, still stays close at 200 HP. A bit greedy, I would say, but still, TSM keeping things in balance. Morphling, maybe thinking about jumping onto Solo. No morph available, however. Solo with the Solo smoke.
Hey, he's out on the map. And Whitemon trying to scout with his little seed shot chucking friend. A
This one's
Warpline
gonna get
Raider.
rewarded immediately. They know.
They sure do. And TSM keeping tabs on them. But like you were mentioning, that entire 2-minute period where they're fighting into the Dire Ancients, Ramses has finished off Radiance, already on his way towards the Manta style. That's where problems can begin for TSM. He gets that Manta and he's silencing up this Invoker, this Morphling. They're not going to have BKB too quickly. They do have Manta and Morphling at the very least. A bit of protection for him. And Ramsey's just going to borrow time to run away from Ari and Bryle.
Does not want to risk anything. Gets it, 50-second cooldown. Let's see if maybe they can get something with the smoke. Beastmaster is smoked, no boots of speed available, so moving at 350 only. Ramses will go into triangle. Rest of the team is very far away from him.
Can they get him though? Like Whitemon and Ari running towards Ramses, knowing borrow time's on cooldown. They're chipping away at him. Sunstrike drops him low, but they don't have the full combo. Sharpshooter is off the mark. And now the skewer back. Miero dragging Ari in back towards Ramses. Sentry placed by Solo. Make sure that Shadow Amulet doesn't come to too much use.
He's gonna start farming with Empower this time around. Finds Dragon Scale for himself, so some extra
a raw
armor.
mid.
Ooh, I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, Kasane roared Antares, and Antares just turns around and blasts him off. Sunstrike.
Dodges a Sunstrike.
Dodged by the Techies as well. And 250 gold for Solo. Very happy he got the last hit on that Thunderhide. Easy money. While Kiyotaka and booting Tomato out of the triangle again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Buys himself a cloak, Morphling does.
Against techies, Ember's Spirit, Jakiro, Magnus, everything has magical damage, Radiance burn as well. Ramsey's farming those extra Forge Spirits, getting the gold from it. And as you said, going into Manta style, so we'll be getting rid of Cold Snap, potentially, and have that extra layer of silence. You instantly get silenced if you get hit by it.
TSM not able to get across the river too well. A long line of wards from top down towards bottom, but when HR just goes straight into your triangle and kill your Enchantress like that, you don't have time to react. They're going to have Boots of Bearing soon up on Bryle. On top of that Solar Crest. A lot rests on Tomado's shoulders, though, because this feels like the way they're itemizing, the way they've drafted, it's everything to build this Morphling up. Every aura, every item, just pump it into the Morphling so he can stand his ground and fight.
Morphling does need a lot of time. This is not a 2-item hero that joins the fight. It's more like 4, 5, 6. So let's see how they're going to be able to approach. Maybe get a kill, turn it into Roche. Solo.
Yeah,
Oh, nice deafening blast.
That's the roar onto Miero as well, but Kiyotaka given freedom here to get on top of Bryle. Chase him down, the Ghost Walk comes, a bit of reveal still remaining, and Bryle throws the Sunstrike but dies immediately after. Now with the Remnant back in, helped out by Antares. A kill, Bryle, Whitemon, and Ramses finds that final kill on Ahri.
This is a big one. Solo picked up Gem. This is 20-minute Gem we're talking about. So Ember Spirit was the one holding it. They can see Hawk. They can also see Glimmer Cape or Shadow Amulet for now on Hoodwink. And they can also kill Invoker, not needing to care about his Ghost Walk. Kiyotaka going for like straight up BKB. Level 15 on Ember Spirit. Shiva's Guard next on the menu. Wants to reduce that healing coming out from the Morphling. He's having a great time.
Yeah, both him and Ramsey's top of the net worth board. Pretty big gap between them and their counterparts. Beastmaster, Invoker, starting to lag behind a little bit with the item decisions they've gone for. But now we're 20 minutes into this game. It feels like HR, the ones in the driving seat, really dictating the pace of play. What's something TSM can do to change that fact? Or is it really just the waiting game for that? Like you said, they're Morphling 6 items to try and get him as much as he can.
I want to see them take another fight. Just try to smoke up and take Roche. If you let Hellraisers take Roche on, you're not going to be able to play. Like, sure, your Morphling doesn't feel fight ready. And look at the item build. Mage Slayer on Morphling. This could be the big one. Let's see if they smoke up, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Go in there, try to get 1, maybe 2 kills, turn it into Roche. RP on cooldown for 10 seconds, so it's gonna be available one more time. Sneaky move. Straight into Roche pit they go, but they should know something is up. Miero.
Radiant scan. Blast off in. Antares deep in the pit. Reactive taser there, but the 2-man chains. The Remnant from Kiyotaka finding Ahri's Hoodwink. The Squirrel gets smushed, and Miero fake pumps the RP. While off to the left-hand side, Antares, he's dropping low, and Bryle and Tomato do get the kill on the techies, while Kiyotaka's gone off with Ramses to hunt people down. The fight spread 3 different ways, and a 2-for-1 trade in the end, favoring TSM. Ramses and Kiyotaka chased down by Whitemon.
RP still available.
You're right, it is. They try the Blink Skewer beam.
Not like
Miero
this. Into the mines.
doesn't get the job done. And Ramsey's kind of scared here. Shield is getting popped by impetus hits. And TSM, yeah, victory you'd call it, as they walk back towards the pit.
They'll still go in. Sleight of Fist is available. DD, Flame Guard, Aphotic Shield. The only thing you need to care about is not getting it dispelled by Enchantress. Let's see. Whitemon. We'll dispel it.
Yeah, takes it off straight away. Miero. They can't get an angle into the pit, so Aegis for Tomato. TSM grab it up, and now the Cyclone catching Ramses, forcing an early borrowed time. Oh, they wish they had some kind of blink or something for... I mean, the Beastmaster doesn't have a roar, so I guess they wouldn't have the control on him anyway.
The scan kind of fooled them in the previous Roche fight, where it connected on the edges, and they were outside, so everything they had, they threw inside a pit. It was only summons, so Antares gets... This is their big team fight. I'm gonna even call it ulti with the blast off, because those proximity mines It's a cool spell, but it's not really an ulti, I would call it.
It's like TB's Metamorphosis. That's
Pretty
the real
much,
ulti.
yes.
Very powerful spell in the right hands. And Bryle gets Antares Courier. Techie is being chased by Forge Spirits. Might get tracked back here. As Ari and Bryle know exactly where he is. Doesn't have TP either. So the Techie is going to get bushwhacked. Solar Crest on him. And a pretty swift dispatching of the Techies there. And TSM, yeah, wind in their sails. Aegis on the Morphling. Turns into a Baden, grabs an Illusion Rune. Tomato in fighting shape right now.
Bloody bounty.
That's a big one. Aphotic Shield. We've seen the power of it in the previous fight, removing Roar. Kiyotaka can play a bit more aggressive. He almost has Shiva's Guard. Oh my god. Just 600 gold away.
It's going to be so incredibly tanky. Having that Shiva's against Morphling feels nice. Gotta be careful though. This Morphling turning into a Baden to steal the Curse of Avernus. That surprise silence might catch people off guard.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We didn't see RP in the last fight, right? Miero faked it, didn't get an opportunity.
No, didn't get it off.
Doesn't
Great
land his
meter
meteor
hammer.
hammer
Hits
either.
nothing. My favorite. Still gonna go for the high ground potentially. Maybe use Manta style, because right now they are pushing bottom tier 2. Tomato. Satanic finished. Look at the damage on tower. Dragon Scale with the illusions. That's a sieging tool right there.
TSM are wrapping around though. Tornado clips on Jakiro. Kiyotaka straight up BKBs. Sharpshooter goes through the dead body of Solo and they roll the Ember. Have they got the chain control? He's going to remnant down to the south and slip away, but you're right. On cooldown for 15 seconds. I don't know if they can close the gap on him fast enough. It's a speedy Centaur, but he's got slight chains to hold them back. Miero also lurking in the shadows. The TSM don't want to break up the ramp.
Still not worth it. They're delaying the game on TSM. Tier 2 tower down to half HP. That Dragon Scale. Abba illusions, and Ramses picks up the Blink Dagger for himself so he can jump out of the trouble and also close the gap.
Just continues farming Ancients. TSM are the ones that have to make a move. Get some use out of this Aegis for the next 2 minutes. They're eyeing up that mid lane. I'm just going to tornado out the creep wave while the Shiver's Guard from Kiyotaka, giving a bit of vision there over onto Whitemon and the neutrals. EMP blasting out some of their mana. Sharpshooter hitting into the borrowed time though as Whitemon blown up by Kiyotaka. Ramses escaping from the Morphling for now. Just a quick pick off, and again forcing TSM into these fights where they're not really getting the jump, getting baited and dragged out across the map.
HR does not want to take full on 5-on-5 engagement. They want to get a pick off. Ooh, Invoker getting Pipe as his next item. This is Pipe plus a Cloak. I don't think, and Nether Shawl. What's his magic resistance? It says 48%.
Is that all?
That is all.
I guess he's going to have the barrier from the pipe as well. Look at these TPs though. Power Rangers coming back into the mid lane from TSM. Solo's Jakiro. He's going to get spotted by the Hawk. That's another easy quick pick for them. Still just a support kill though, and the rest of HR pretty content farming out, pushing bottom, and keeping Antares in the jungle to move towards his BKB as well.
This
So
build on
far.
Invoker, you either look like you're bad, what the hell are you doing? You get a couple of Reddit comments about it, or you're like, wow, this was really thinking outside of the box. It really depends how the game's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, Dota 2 is one of these games where that fine line between genius and insanity really can be shown
Yeah.
off.
I mean, it's a good. I don't mind it because your offlaner is not building it. He decided to go for BKB. Maybe he could have been. I mean, Beastmaster Pipe works real nicely, so you can have magic. Ooh, RP. Okay, what
Who did
the
he
hell
RP?
was that? Just ground, I believe.
I'm not going to lie, I was watching Techies cut wave in mid, planting his mines. I didn't see
Oh,
what
was
Miero
it
did.
Manta? Seems like our observer is pointing out that Manta style dodge
Nice.
happened. Because I saw him in the base. Not sure
I'm glad.
if Skewer was in cooldown.
I'm glad someone's paying attention. Thanks, Eosin.
Yeah.
Yeah, TSM thinking about what they're doing next, though. This is the awkward thing when it is very all in on the Morphling. They've got to be playing around him. Does have a DD rune now. But the rest of the squad are swinging bottom. I don't know if Tomato can join in on this, as Brawl just gets straight up slight changed. BKB out of Kiyotaka, focusing onto the Invoker, and he's gone. Tomato TPs to the outpost bot, TSM rallying around him. But they've spent BKB on Beastmaster. They've got Roar available, but having no Invoker is a pretty bad sign for this upcoming team fight. And they'll try and pick off Solo. And when I say try, succeed quite simply with the DD of the Morphling.
This Lotus Orb pickup from Miero. They throw it on Kiyotaka. He goes in, can be roared. Even if he does get roared, there's going to be an aphotic shield from Abba. And Abba picks up the Basher, so that's going to be more control. Seems like we're going to see the same thing as what happened in the previous game, where Tomato is going to be left alone. Don't try to kill him until you kill the rest. Then his Manta style is off cooldown. You silence him with those illusions from Abba, and then focus him down. So going for Invoker, let's see how he defends himself in the next fight. No 4 staffs yet. One on Enchantress is being built. Hoodwink also opting to go for different items. Blink Dagger and Glimmer Cape.
Miero. Oh, gets caught by the Bushwhack. Was trying the TP home. But the rest of TSM going to get surrounding this Magnus. And what can they turn this into? Bit of a push on the mid lane. And no ability to go high ground or anything because they are so spread across the map. And another 40 seconds at the least for Roshan to spawn. That means that Magnus will be alive. There's more time here.
Look at the gold on Antares. He's the one farming. He's the one who's been creep skipping. Has almost the same amount of net worth as Magnus. Picks up BKB so that he can actually get his blast off. It will not get tornado, not get bushwhacked or anything. Nothing's gonna stop him mid-air.
Yeah, make for certain they can get these RP into blast off combinations. Octarine Core next. Big old techies. Solo getting a bit of farm for himself as well, pushing out that bot wave. Distracting TSM from their key objectives, which is to hold this enemy Ancients area. And wait for Roshan. 50 seconds for him to spawn, but Antares, different ideas as they jump in towards the Beastmaster and force Kasane to pop an early BKB. Now the drums and the chase forward. Whitemon, 4 staff up to high ground. Shiver's Guard and Remnant, giving the vision on the Enchantress. They'll control her up with some chains and blow her up with the mines. And HR, again, a firm grasp on this game as they force TSM, rebuff them, get them back towards the dire base. As Bryle throws a few spells at Kiyotaka here. Sunstrike, EMP, a bit of save, and the RP. They've caught out the Beastmaster and the Hoodwink. Kiyotaka with Ramsey is going to shred through them quickly. An unstoppable streak and another blast off in. Tomato's deep. He's in behind them. Kiyotaka dropping low. Pops out the shivers and a sleight of fist. He survived. He's got away. Oh, Tomato. He does heal up a fair amount, but another skewer back in. Antares BKB's up, and Ramsey doesn't want to get joining into this fight, so a triple. As Morphling cleans up. That's all they needed was Tomato to be left unattended.
Yeah, he turns into this Magnus. Gets Empower for himself, has the skewer. Ramsey's no borrow time for a second.
Look at that damage! But now he's low HP. Oh, they tornado him. You're right, he can blink out. They didn't get any more control as Ramsey's borrowed time allows the escape. But Roshan now alive.
Belongs to TSM. Looking at the buyback, there is no one on Magnus. 40 seconds until techies. They have to let it go. Alacrity, Boots of Bearing, that lifesteal from Satanic, Paladin Sword, Morphling. Being super strong in the fight. This is what the timing that they were kind of looking into, and he also did pick up Aghanim Scepter, so stealing status resistance from the enemy heroes. That's gonna be big.
That's huge against this RP and Techie Shard. A lot of chain stuns from ex-HR. 33 minutes in, Tomato has arrived, killing off Ramsey's courier, which had Abyssal Blade recipe inside. And would have been very close, just 100 gold from finishing out the full item there.
Now if he decides to turn into Abaddon, he can break him, maybe silence him with the Manta style if his Manta style is on cooldown, and then borrow time is not gonna proc. So have that silence break combo that is always gonna be potent against Abba. Solo will die one more time.
Yep.
He's been in no man's land.
Oh, he's dead for 70 seconds. Yeah, he
He
did
bought
use
back in the
buyback.
previous fight, yeah.
Yeah. 6 minutes without the buyback. Dead for 60. If TSM use this information, they could get in on this Radiant base, but we already see the preparation from Antares. Mines being placed all across that front line. Blink across from Miero. Gets an Invis rune. They don't have reveal here. Yeah, Ari not holding
There's
any.
a sentry, and they're pinging it out.
Braille has a gem, and they are running towards him. Miero. Tomato. Magnus on Magnus. And that shockwave skewer gets Tomato into position to pick up yet another kill. So XHR down 2 heroes. Lane starting to trend towards the Radiant base. This Wolfling seems unstoppable
this whole
now.
series have been pretty wild. You don't know who's gonna win until the end. Like, this 4K gold lead doesn't mean anything. Whoever has Aegis also means nothing. So we'll see how the execution is gonna go. Morphling holding the Aegis for another 3 minutes. They decide to overextend. You talked about techies putting some mines inside the base, so potential skewer back, horn toss. Try to kill them off.
It's never easy for TSM. It's always a struggle. Solo pretty adept at holding high ground himself. With Macropyre and Ice Path, create these zones of areas where TSM just can't breach. And both teams have a gem now, right? Invoker holding one, Ember still holding one. So they've got that ability to keep the reveal. Try and de-ward. There's only one observer ward on the map that belongs to Dire in that bottom lane right now. But the oppressive nature of this TSM draft comes into play. Tomato very safe all on his own just to push out top. And TSM can bridge the gap into mid and bottom lane with the remainder of their heroes.
Hellraisers will need to do the same thing. Ignore Morphling. He's just way too tanky to be killed. He's a bit low on mana. Always is. It feels like it. I saw him bringing 4 clarities. So every single time there is a clarity, he's going to pop it in, use it to get some mana replenish. This spam is going to be very annoying. Macropyre, Ice Pad, Bombs, Sleight of Fist, and also the Skewer. So got to be extremely careful how you approach the high ground. This is why we don't see TSM going for it.
Now you got to be clean. Especially with the Scythe of Ice and Invoker. They're trying to wait out the Lotus Orb on Kiyotaka. Go back in on the Ember. Oh, Miero attempting the Horn Toss, but grabs nobody. I was looking for anybody trapped in the trees there. And Tomato still with 1:20 on Aegis. Very comfortable. So front line for the rest of his squad. And bottom lane's going to get shoved in pretty soon. So HR need to deal with top and mid lane if they want to mount a defense down bottom.
They are stuck inside the base, but still getting the farm. It's been steady 5K gold lead for TSM, because TSM members didn't farm their jungle, didn't farm their triangle. They've been lurking around, maybe trying to get the pick off with this Hex, finished on Bryle.
Slowly building up the net worth, gathering up as much farm as you can. And quite often with this kind of scenario, you'll see the carry player like going back to their own ancients to farm, maybe get some neutral items, see what's up. Tomato, so necessary in these fights, has to be there to make sure the rest of his squad's protected. Have you pointed this out already? White Mon going for Moonshard next after the Hurricane Pike?
I saw it. It's still very far away. I didn't want to comment on it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Triple Wraith Band.
In 15 minutes. We'll see. If he dies once, he probably changes things around.
To another Wraith Band.
3 is more than enough. He's super tanky right now. 35 armor. 68% physical resistance on Enchantress. With, of course, the untouchable slow.
Super tanky. Oh, Ember Spirit empowered up. Clears out that mid wave. Get a bit of vision down here for Solo to command his team. And try and build a platform they can use to team fight around. The amount of green dots in that Radiant base is starting to become a little too much. Overwhelming minefield. And TSM have to maneuver around. And another Scythe of Ice there. Ember Spirit has the ability now to slight hex people.
There's the one.
Back.
There's the jump.
Bryle dragged back into the Radiant base. They're going to save Miero and Bryle. Pop the drums, run away. Ramsey's in. Antares dropping, though, to Tomato. Ramsey's fighting. Bryle nearly dead. Looking to drop him as the Abaddon goes to work. Now Tomato in a bit of danger. Pops the Manta, turns and fights. The RP. Miero catches him. Tomato standing there and just doing nothing as he's stunned, but he's tanky enough to withstand Ramsey's and Kiyotaka's damage. Another full staff away. The blast off misses. In we go back again. Tomato, full HP. Full strength and incredibly tanky. This Ember Spirit has to BKB to try and run, and a triple kill for Tomato now. Kills off Ramses, forces a buyback, and skewers away to safety. Chaos abound in that team fight.
Oh no, he missed again.
And another blast off misses.
They forced 2 buybacks. They needed this blast off to get off in a fight. They also kind of relied on to lock them down, and you see Manta style pop by Morphling, they immediately jump him. They get a bash on top of him, but it's not enough to lock him down. He gets out of the trouble. Level 25 Morphling now. He picked up the 40% waveform cooldown. It's down to 7.2 seconds, and every single time he uses it, it does attack the target with the level 20 talent.
Yeah, just being able to lifesteal up off of heroes, off of creeps. Keeps
Miero,
himself in the fight.
Like, it looked like a bad RP, but I get what he tried to do there. Try to buy time during the Satanic so that he doesn't lifesteal back to full HP. Sunstrike. He's gonna scout things out inside the pit. Roshan respawning in potentially 35 seconds. This could be one fight. If HR loses it, TSM takes the game. Alacrity, Morphling with all these items. Very difficult to lock down. And going into Bloodthorn, so wants to be able to pop that Abaddon. We talked about the combo, silence plus a break. Can't do anything about it. If you're broken, you need to manually use borrowed time. But if you're silenced, you can't click it.
Yeah,
there's still Manta style, of course.
And I guess he's got Witchbane as well, right? He can dispel the Bloodthorn?
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
It also deals a ton of damage, especially against Invoker. 2 point. Oh, Meteor.
Oh, hello.
Hex combo. Kiyotaka getting picked off.
And a Timeless Relic for Bryle as his reward for that kill. And yeah, I was going to point out, there are no buybacks in this game. Everyone is buying out, trying to get these key items for the next fight, the big Roche fight, which is so vitally important for everyone. So Kiyotaka's dead for 70 seconds. 1,500 gold away from buyback.
Look at the mines. This is Minesweeper.
Mine layer. Antares having a bit of fun. I'm planting them all over the place. How do you get up to this high ground? How do you deal with it? It's always scared of the Horn Toss, the Skewer. They need that Aegis on the Morphling. So TSM not going to make any rash decisions and go straight up the staircase.
Don't need to rush anything. Wait until Roshan respawns. They do have Satyr inside the Roche pit, so they will know the exact spawn time plus double damage. So 10 seconds. Like, they can actually kill Roshan in 15 seconds. Kiyotaka might not be able to get there. There's not a single 3-2 tower that they have, so can't TP to anything. And now they're using a scan.
Yeah, early scan. Not going to clip onto anyone.
Not showing on the map.
And again, the situation where we've had these gems in play for so long, Radiant have no vision. That's how well TSM have dewarded the entire map.
Roshan just spawned. Tomato going back in immediately.
Was that 700 plus damage? 800 almost? 900? It just keeps climbing. Alacrity, DD, all the auras in the world. And Aegis for Tomato. Cheese and Refresher for Bryle, so we'll have that double scythe. Difficult times now for HR, but they still have an arsenal of abilities that can hold high ground, that can defend.
It's not an easy one. They just got a Refresher. So double Hex on Bryle. Double Meteor. Plus Timeless Relic, something that you mentioned. So longer duration hexes, instead of 3 seconds, it's going to be 3.5. It's going to be extra 0.7. X 0.8. Doing the math. Maybe I'm even wrong, but Gary is not gonna correct me. He does not want to look like a fool.
I don't want to alt-tab and open a calculator because my brain ain't good with those numbers.
It's actually more. It's 0.3 per, so 3.6. If it was fine, then, you know, extra 20% of 5, so you get 1.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
There we go,
got
yeah.
it.
Agreed. I concur.
Chat is gonna love this one. This is why we're here. Entertainment. Being stupid and
Idiocy.
entertaining people. Exactly.
Oh, looking at the buyback status. Jakiro, the only Radiant hero with it right now. Beastmaster and Enchantress both have it on the Dire team. So no real defender's advantage for ex-HR. They're going to have to rely on all these heroes they have alive right now. Tomato in the Silver Edge waiting for someone to poke their head up the stairs. But very patient, deliberate movements from HR, just standing in their base waiting for the waves of aggression to come. But this means that net worth lead is just going to build and build for TSM. We're up to 22,000 now, so an additional couple of items that they have over HR at this point. A double sonic device. Kasane has one. He blinks away. Ramses and Solo looking to hunt down the Beastmaster, and a wave of TPs coming in. TSM want to fight around this bottom outpost. All about holding the high ground. All about that vision for the first jump. Ramses out in open water here.
Classic Ramses move. Tries to buy a bit more time. Their towers are still very healthy. Sitting inside the base, though. Looking at the 25s. We are approaching Ember Spirit. Getting there. Plus Abba as well. Which means that one less Curse of Avernus attack is required. So you blink in onto someone, Manta style. Everybody hits once. They got one.
Yeah, they got him. Morphling. Dragged down to half HP
He's
straight
shifting.
up, but he's shifting. He's BKB'd and he's into Magnus mode. Skewers across two heroes. Ramses Kiyotaki in trouble. Brawl gets the double kill. And now Tomato given freedom. They do have buyback on Jakiro and Ember, though. And the ability for Kiyotaki to come back into this fight and continue battling. As TSM wave up to high ground, they attempted the waveform horn toss. Ari blown up by the mines, though, and buybacks galore as TSM want to continue this. Another Gleipnir and a sticky bomb onto the Morphling, shifting forward, waving onto Ramses. Abaddon hiding in the trees. Borrow time in 2 seconds. Blinks back into the middle of them. Abyssal Blade catching Brawl, but they've got the side device out of Kasane. Ramses has to borrow time just to run away. Out of mana completely as Tomato can start killing off the buildings. Remnant forward, but Ember Spirit doesn't want to commit. Gem on the deck, the scythe is there. Oh, Ember Spirit, he's dead. 2 minutes without him. Tomato makes short work of the Ember, and Ramses being bullied by the Enchantress. A full
There's
lane.
nothing they can do about it. They even give Tomato cheese. Magnus is going to buy back. There's a bunch of mines, but status resistance, when he uses Morph on someone, it goes up almost to 50%. So he can't be stunned.
And
There's the
Ramses
combo.
gets off the borrowed time. He's roared up and tornadoed. They still have RP, I think. No, he spent it. He didn't fake pump it. He wasted it. Antares tries to blast off into the middle of 3 of them. But look at this Tomato Morphling go to work. Incredible power from Tomato here in game 2. Buyback spent by HR, now a 2v5, and GG is called. Ramses disconnects. He's out of there, and Tomato picks up the triple kill.
Ooh, man, we didn't expect anything less. Another 1-1 for TSM, but looked really good in the second game.
All according to plan.